brings people together, flares up conversations, and makes every moment memorable, if done right. In a male-dominant industry, today we are very lucky to have our female magicians from the culinary industry with us to have a conversation on a topic less spoken. Why do we need more women in the culinary space? So we'll begin with introducing them one by one. We have Chef Sarika with us. With over 21 years of experience in the industry and many awards in the space under her belt. Chef Sarika, thank you so much for being with us today. We have Chef Jyoti.
Hi.
A very unique background, laptop to ladle. Professionally, she was an engineer and decided to pursue her passion in the culinary space. Finalist from MasterChef India Season 4. Chef Jyoti, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you.
And we have Chef Mallicka with over 10 years of experience, having traveled the country with a luxury hotel brand. Thank you so much, Chef Mallicka, for being here. It's a pleasure to have all of you with us today, and I'm really looking forward to our conversation on having more such legendary women in the culinary space. So let's start the conversation. Chef Mallicka, I'll start with you. Why do you think we are seeing less female talent available in the culinary space today, whereas more and more organizations are focusing on diversity?
So I think the first thing that comes into play is with the hospitality industry is that people have this perception of male-dominated industry. So I think some people just don't move forward after that. So we need to change that perception. Once that changes, we'll have more women. So, and then it starts at the base where women who are girls who are graduating, they need to be told a little bit more on the subject, on the opportunities. So that somewhere is a lack that's there where we don't see too many women pursuing. There are of course a lot of hurdles and restrictions and factors that come into play, whether it's personally, professionally. So which is why maybe somewhere people aren't willing to take that step forward to move into the industry, where you see a little dearth of women.
I also feel, there's less awareness about the work-life balance that an organization can offer. It's been ages that I have enjoyed a festival or, taken leave on New Year's or, gone out during holidays with family for the only reason that hospitality runs during these times.
Right.
Yeah. But when I joined Compass, it was a totally different experience. I was getting all my holidays because, means I was enjoying those weekends off. I don't know, after how many years in Diwali, I applied mehendi on my hand. I don't even remember the last time I had done
Wow.
that. And it was like an emotional thing that, came to me. So I think that work-life balance awareness is not there. And that needs to be created.
Jyoti, you want to add something?
Yeah, I think there is like, if you go out, there is like two extreme pictures that is being saw. Either it is being like too labor intensive, too very hard working. Of course, it is a physically exerting job, and it's a woman of the family are expected to go home, cook, take care. It's lot. It's overwhelming for women to take care of everything around and without having a proper support system. So once that awareness is more about it, I think we'll have more women. Right now, it's not there, so we are finding it difficult to get more women in an industry. Yeah.
So, Chef Sarika, we know that hospitality is known to be a difficult industry, and I also know that all three of you are passionate about food. So tell me a little bit about your journey and how did you overcome this difficult space?
I'll be frank, so the only reason I was in the food industry is for the food, my love for food. I love eating and cooking. And I thought, what is the best place to be around food than, be in the hospitality industry, where you get to cook, you get to taste, you get to eat everything that is available in that space. So that was how I joined the industry. But when I actually did my hotel management and my training, I came to know that it's not an easy job. It's a hot kitchen where you have to be. It's a male-dominated area. But I think somewhere in my mind, I knew what I wanted to do. I had that passion to go ahead and do it, even if there were obstacles. It was that one way that I had seen, this is what I want to do and this is how I want to go forward, whatever the circumstances, whatever the situations may be. So I think initially there were a few barriers, but overcame them and reached there.
Interesting. Chef Jyoti, you want to share something?
Well, like you said that I had a little bit unconventional journey because I always wanted to be a chef since I don't remember, from 12, 13, I don't remember.
Wow.
But when it came to career choices, my parents wanted engineering because there was no awareness. Like I said, it's like two extreme pictures shown, and at that time it was a picture of being like intensive, like no, there was this convention about not so good things were said about hospitality then.
Yes.
And somebody told my dad like beti se jhoote bartan dhulwaega and kind of that stuff. So they like no, engineering, please settle job, get married, have kids, live happily ever after. That was the plan. Luck would have it, I did engineering, but from the moment I like, yeah, this is something, I was good at it. It's not that I was not good. I was doing very much better over there. But my heart was, you know, when I used to travel with my international travel for the job, I used to look around for the food, you know, what is different going on, coming back home, taking all the sauces, and you know, my bag used to be more of the spices and the condiments from that world, and you know, trying out, you know, cook it at home to make them taste what I have tasted. So that hunger was there, and ultimately after 2 failed attempts at MasterChef India, it was not my first attempt that I went till top 25. After 2 failed, it was my 3rd time lucky that I went till top 25. And after that, when I came back home, of course, when you get eliminated, you are like, you are not good enough, you know, you got, but I was not feeling joy in the job. So my seniors also noticed that I have passion for somebody else. So they said, you know what, go out, try for 2 years. If you don't, you can anyways come back to your own IT world again, you know. That was a very big support that I took that plunge. I was like, this now or never. I don't want to go 10 years in discomfort, look back, and I had time, I had energy, and I didn't take a chance. So, of course, movies inspired.
Agreed.
Movies inspired, but yeah, so that when I left, there was this pressure to perform. I can't fail. Like, you know, you have given up so much at stake. It was not an easy journey. Like I had envisaged, like I said, it's either extreme, and then I had seen the glamour world as well. You know what? 2 years and I will kick ass in this industry. No, the truth was different. I worked in restaurants, hotel, consulting. I tried every nook and corners to, you know, balance out, to make up for the learning years, because I didn't go to school. I had to do on-the-job training, learn from the mentors, and that's how it has been. And there came a point where I was actually questioning, should I go back or should I continue my passion, because there had been so many ups and downs. That's where I came to this world, where I said that nobody knew this world exists, where it's a compass which gives you corporate food, marries both the world, and I am happy here, I'm thriving. I mean, the previous job, if I say, I couldn't stay more than 6-7 months, and here I am, and loving every moment of it.
Wow. Well, we're glad to have you. Chef Mallicka, you want to share something about your journey?
So I think it's been the sheer passion. You know, it's just like we've all seen our parents cook, you know, since you're kids, and of course, food is a part of everybody's life. You know, everybody somewhere or the other, you have a,
Especially India.
yes, of course, and we have so much of it, such diversity there as well. So that was one thing. My family is a complete family of foodies. You know, you've not finished the current meal, and you're already on to what you want to have next.
During lunch, you're always talking, what do you want to have for dinner?
Exactly. So that's an ongoing thing, you know. So there's always a next meal to plan. Very, a lot of excitement for that. And of course, there are, so you sort of, I headed in that direction. And of course, starting off being a management trainee and then moving on to one thing and the next. You always have a lot of encouragement. So these things drove me. In fact, I had been told, you're a girl, you're fair. So why don't you join front office? That instead of taking it in a negative way, I was like, अब तो और ज़्यादा करना है, Now there is, you have things to prove, you do. So I mean, I know I'm a girl, but I don't want to join front office, I want to cook. So yeah, that also drives you. It's up to you how you take it. So that drove me to sort of prove myself even more.
Well, interesting you bring the point about proving yourself and how you take, what's thrown at you. What advice would you give for women in this space or who want to join this space? How can we bring more women in the culinary industry? What can we do?
I think the most important thing is to bring awareness of what the hospitality industry was a few years back and what it has changed to now. So the awareness is very important because people still have that mindset that it is hard work, it is long hours, it is sacrificing your festivals or your family time. So that awareness needs to be there, is the need of the hour is what I think.
What advice I would like to bring more, I think there has to be, like you said, awareness is one thing, but at the same time be clear that what are we getting into. Like there will be blood, sweat, everything. It is a physically extensive job. And choose a place wisely rather than, nowadays I've seen the trend, the restaurants which are doing great in top 10 and whatever, they give their internship planning and people are running out of it, literally struggling to get into that attention because they want to copy that or be that. Inspiration is one thing, but being something else. So identify your own things where you are good at it and pursue that. For help, ask for mentors. Select a place where you are respected and being heard. Like there are many places where I'm being vocal about and I'm being thrown out like being too blabbermouth or too talking aloud and some things are which should not to be said. So that is the thing, once you are in it, at it, inspiration is one thing, but being somebody else, so accept yourself, identify work on your strengths rather than on your weaknesses.
And also probably learn to take feedback positively, right?
Yes, absolutely.
As women, we tend to be a little more emotional.
Defensive.
Defensive, like you're saying, carrying a lot of weight on your shoulders.
Yes.
But I think it's really important to learn to take feedback positively because it's always constructive.
Yes.
And always a way to take it constructively. But Mallicka, you have any advice for the young ones in the industry, or how do we bring more in the space?
Okay, so the first thing being, you need to be passionate about the industry, the food, wherever you're heading, the culinary field. That's one thing. Second thing being, know what you want and stick to that. I think that's something that's really important, to literally follow. And there's a lot to learn. There's a whole learning curve with everything. I think it's tough, but I think we're doing it, We've been doing it for so long. So I think it's easily doable and just be focused on what you want to do.
So yeah, I feel so every job has a challenge of its own.
I totally agree.
And if women can be in KST, make food for 1,000 people in a dargah or anywhere else for that sake, I think we can overcome any challenge. So that fear has to go out of your mind, and that is only going to get out if we make people aware of what they are exactly getting into, or what the industry demands, or what it has to offer as a career.
And I guess with the right support, women can really shoot it through the roof, isn't it?
Absolutely. With, of course, some sensitization around that as well. Where, educating male counterparts how to be little bit sensitized around the women working. See, this is not the first, we say this industry is a male dominated area. Every area was. For example, when we did in engineering, there were like very less girls doing engineering as well. Then there was a pressure on women to prove themselves. Now it is hospitality, prove them. So wherever you go, we have to prove ourselves. That's given. But what good thing has happened? The males also creating that environment to nurture, for them to feel comfortable. That has other industries must have done it better way, but it is happening here. It's not happening. So now the males are, because they are having the working women as spouses, they understand the problem of the working women with them. They are sensitized, little bit feminist. They are having daughters who are pursuing it, so they are more, aware about what women go through rather than making fun of it, haha types.
Yeah.
They are more accommodative. So this is with sensitization, with education. If that becomes a part of curriculum as well in IHM, that will be like nothing like it. But till then, for the stopgap, there has to be leaders, male leaders, or seniors, or supervisors, or subordinates who should be little bit accommodative.
Yes.
And organizations like Compass are investing heavily in sensitizing
Definitely.
across the chain.
And that definitely makes a difference. It encourages you more. There has to be that little bit of acceptance. That's the basic thing. There needs to be acceptance that, of course, as women, all said and done, you accept it or you don't accept it, there are certain things that are different. There are certain, whether it's some sort of a societal pressure or the typical things that people do say. There is a little bit of, there is a difference, right? That's how men and women are different. But that doesn't change the creativity aspect of it. They're equally creative. So men bring different things to the table, women bring something different. That is where we blend together and come up with something absolutely fabulous, So that acceptance bit needs to be there. It's there. That also has changed. I think that has brought about, men being supportive. You need to have, while men and women both need to support each other. It works two ways,
It has to be,
So,
yeah.
exactly. So that I think has also
ways.
changed quite a bit. And of course, we've seen that in Compass as well, where you have your male cheerleaders who are there,
Yes.
So of
Always.
course it's definitely
Always.
encouraging. It motivates you more. It definitely, any kind of a cheer or any kind of support is definitely very motivating.
This brings me to my next question, and this is probably my favorite question in this whole chat. Why do you think we need more women in the culinary space?
Well, I think the creativity factor comes in here.
Definitely.
I feel women are more creative, they are more passionate, and the most important thing is women at every stage or in every situation think on an emotional level. That empathy is always there. So and they have a sense of way to tackle these things in a different way. The passion for doing what you're doing is more intense when women are there, is what I feel.
Yeah, absolutely. To bring balance, let's say, diversity to the group. Like sometime back, Mallicka said that there has to be like equals. It doesn't have to be equal. Like they have to accept that there is the two. One is logical, one is where is logic. There has to be emotional. When there is a little bit sternness, there has to be empathy. So they both bring out best of each other. Let's say that best, rather than me fighting to be equal. I mean, if I say that I can pick up 100 kgs of, I will be stupid to do that, to prove myself, just to bring my muscles to prove that I can lift it up. That's a stupid thing to do. Rather than what value I bring to the table, I should concentrate more on that. And they both bring out the best among each other. Be honest, whatever we do, we cook, that's a tangible thing. People eat, it becomes part of what they are. So if the energies which is made with creativity, enthusiasm, passion, when it becomes part of something else,
Positivity.
Positivity, love, care, when it becomes part of somebody, to bring that balance. If all men are cooking, that will be the same energy. So women brings out that balance.
Beautiful.
But all these factors together just bring about a whole. Also at you can say at a leadership level, you have a different approach. All these factors put together sort of bring a different approach and a different way of leading the team also. So I think that's somewhere important and needed. It's important to bring about that little balance. So these factors, all of these factors combined make a difference. So of course, at that level, you need that as well.
Great. So my next question, maybe I'll start with you, Jyoti. What do you think are the trends, current trends in the F&B industry, and where do you think the industry is going?
See, now industry is not going in a stereotypical way that we used to have like 10 years back. There used to be like fine dining, that going out used to be the once in a year affair, or so it's just everyday celebration. Food is everyday celebration. So from a little bit from street wala counter to the fine dine to the Michelin tasting portions, it's diverse, everything. And nowadays with like a social media or the programs like MasterChef had created so much awareness about food, traveling, everybody is now a global traveler. It has created so much, passion about cooking. So it's not, so we can't predict that industry is going in a particular way. It's very dynamic, very changing at a fast pace. Earlier the trend used to change every 2-3 years, now it is in months, I guess. Now sometimes it's a K-pop, sometimes it's what. So keeping up with the trends is, I'll not say there's any particular trend, but now the more the food, whatever we talk about, has to have some story, some nostalgia, some experience.
Exactly, and keeping that in mind, that is something that people are going back to their roots.
Yes.
People are going back to what used to be done years ago, whether it's the taste, the palate, or even the equipment. People there, and especially with a country like India, there is such diversity. Every 2 neighboring states of a similar region have very different flavors. So people are going back to that and sort of incorporating that into the modern world. So I think that is something that everybody is focusing on. Like I said, going back to your roots, because that's, I think everybody's seen their grandmothers, and all those recipes have been handed down, and of course they have, while we have such modern age equipment, and of course that is growing, that in itself is a blessing. But those earthen pots or typical equipment of a particular region, the climatic conditions, all those things, people keep those in mind, and I think people are going back to the ancient traditional ways, and then reinventing that and bringing that and incorporating that into today's world. So I think that's really fascinating.
Sustainability,
So
that
yes,
we can say,
that
sustainable ways to bring out the waste that our dadis and nannies used to do, from using peel to the everything of the vegetable, not waste.
Yeah, like optimum utilization of resources.
Sustainability is becoming like the need of the hour, with reducing food wastage, recreating from leftover food. So sustainability is like going to be the next biggest trend and the need, in the food industry.
Yeah.
So people are also moving towards healthy, nutritious food. That awareness has come where people are more diet conscious. They are more conscious about the calories they are taking in. They are more conscious on
immunity,
where their food is growing, how it is growing, how it is coming to the table. How are you cooking it in a different way? What do you think, Chef Jyoti?
Yeah, I mean different ways of cooking, like air fryers and all, no oil cooking or whatever. It's in trend right now, wellness with like I said, sustainability, coming back with the millets, like ancient grains are coming into picture. Sometimes quinoa was the buzzword, now the millets are taking it. So wellness, health, they become more aware or mindful of what we are eating. That's of course a food trend that we are seeing, and
especially post-pandemic.
Post-pandemic, yes, and the younger generation also, which is more conscious about fitness, conscious of their look and how they feel about themselves. Immunity, of course, post-COVID, and of course the parents making, with the like India being, having the second most obesity in the children, being more aware towards it. Nowadays the parents are more mindful of what they are feeding their kids, even the junk with little bit of, putting it some stealth health, or we say, putting it
meat, plant-based meat.
You have a lot of alternatives for these. You have a lot of alternatives. People are now consciously, it's not just about that thought process that people used to have, that you cut down something, or you don't eat butter, or all of that. So that's going to be a healthy, that's healthy for you. But now I think there are more aspects of involving. It's not just the fat content, it's the nutrient. You look at anybody and everybody will have some or the other deficiency. So I think that is also something that, like you mentioned, post-pandemic, people have consciously started to make an effort to incorporate a lot of not easily available or not the usual typical ingredients that are available. People have consciously started to incorporate that into their food. So I think that makes a difference. That is
Moving
somewhere-
from fat-free to more wholesome.
Exactly, because of
what
course
people
you
are
need the little bit, you need fat as well. It's
nutritious
not
and-
just that you
yeah.
need a fat-free meal.
Yeah.
Of course, that's also an important aspect. So I think
Yeah.
people have started to explore and.
Okay, ladies. So my last question would be, your thoughts about Compass as a place to work.
I like to go for the first. Like I said, the Compass kind of had given me this place where I think that it marries the work-life balance and marries both of corporate and food, my passion. What actually make Compass stand apart from me in my whole 8 years has been the kind of mentorship that I get here. The risk appetite that my boss put me to take risk whenever I have a self-doubt whether I can do it. He has more faith in me and like a cushion to take that risk, and the easy accessibility, like apart from my immediate work, I can walk into anybody's cabin and ask for help. Like even the CEO's cabin is open and they are like talking every time, asking everything is okay, do you need any support. That just asking that question itself is a big how do you say,
Gives you a sense of comfort.
Yes.
Comfort to
Yeah.
thrive, to perform, to push yourself, to do some things which you always in your head and you might think it's foolish to ask, but they bring out that best of you. That is the thing that's Compass, and that's how I want more females like me who are looking out for mentors, trying to find their ground to grow and grow their roots in, should come and experience this once. And I'm looking forward to reach out to as many women as possible to get them here and to experience what I have been experiencing. It seems like I've just joined 1 year, but it seems like I'm here from long time. Everybody seems so familiar, so like at home, like it's like a second home for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Chef Sarika, you have.
For me, it is more about the respect and the work culture that goes in the company. I have seen n number of brands, and I've worked with a lot of companies, multinationals, but the comfort level that I have in this company is at a different level. I've worked 20 years, but when I joined Compass, I felt different. It was an internal emotion that that this is something that I actually wanted for many years, and finally I have reached a place where I'm getting that. Second is the job security that is there. It's a huge company. We are growing every day. The job opportunities, the job security, the support that is there from every team member or from the leaders is enormous, and I've not seen that anywhere else, and I hope we are going to continue like this.
I'm sure we will. Chef Mallicka, some closing words from you?
Just to elaborate more on what they've said, I mean, there is a sense of comfort, there is of course the acceptance, and there is a nice sense of belonging that you have. We all come from different parts of Compass, since it's so diverse in the country, and there's a whole sense of belonging that you have when you meet each other. There's so much to learn from each other, and we're looking to, of course, have more people in the team. There are obviously so many opportunities in Compass, and we would like some fresher, newer talent. So yes, Compass going to so many colleges as well. There are so many colleges that have come up, and there is so much that's now happening. It was different so many years ago, and it's different now. So yes, we have, and we're looking forward to having more talent and some fresh perspective in the team. That's always welcome, and of course we could use that definitely. A different mindset. We could definitely use that. So yes.
Great. With that, I think we're towards the end of the conversation. Thank you so much, all three of you. I know you're terribly busy, so thank you so much for taking the time out. Really appreciate this. And I hope this encourages more women in the culinary space to come and join us because we're looking for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting us.